Hello and welcome to my channel, Boo Snakes and More. Today we're going to be talking about Superman, so please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And for more videos like this, watch my other house channel, A&A Snakes and Stuff, my youngest son's channel, Henny's Toys and Games, or my oldest son's channel, Little Chris 10. Now let's dive into the video. First airing in 2023, My Adventures with Superman has proven to be a successful and well-received re-imaging of the Man of Steel through a distinctively anime-inspired lens. Not only has it had a second season, but it's also getting a spin-off in the form of a similar series based on another DC hero. While this project might definitely turn out to be just as well received, there's another far more logical direction for the animated universe to go in. Wonder Woman is the third member of DC's Trinity besides Superman and Batman, but she's never had an animated series of her own. A spin-off of My Adventures with Superman would have been perfect for the amazing Amazon, but instead, My Adventures with Green Lantern is being made and featuring one of the more underdeveloped Green Lantern Corps members. Now is iconically the best time to give Wonder Woman her own animated show, especially given the cancellation of another project involving the heroine. My Adventures with Green Lantern's promise is problematic. As mentioned, the upcoming spin-off for My Adventures with Superman is My Adventures with Green Lantern, but this animated series won't star the more typical Green Lantern Corps characters. Instead, it focuses on a younger version of Jessica Cruz, a Green Lantern introduced during DC Comics' New 52 era. Jessica Cruz has proven to be a well-liked character, and she's arguably eclipsed Simon Baz, who was brought into the comics right before her. Putting Jessica in a new animated project makes some degree of sense. What doesn't make sense, however, is completely edge-winging a more classic Green Lantern, especially given how much Jessica is being altered in this incarnation. Given how converted her origins are, some changes would also be necessary, but the upcoming show seems to only use the most basic elements of the character. If anything, the need to change her so dramatically is proof that she wasn't ready for primetime. As much as fans love bringing up the third Green Lantern, John Stewart, the majority of the Green Lantern mythos ties directly into Hal Jordan and his interactions with other characters. Guy Gardner, John Stewart, and even Kyle Rayner work best when they're bouncing off each other or Hal Jordan. This is best reflected in the fact that the only things most fans remember about them are the planets they've blown up or their girlfriends that ended up stuffed in refrigerators. Jessica Cruz has next to no notable stories of her own, so giving her an entire animated series seems like something of a waste of the Green Lantern property. More than likely, she'll have to borrow from other more developed Green Lanterns, which only proves that she and recent characters like her are not yet ready to be solo heroes. This is only stressed further by the fact that she'll apparently be a teenager, and if the basics of the character are being changed, everything else about her is really just window dressing. If the goal was to have a female superhero using Green Lantern was completely unnecessary and head-scratching, given that a far better route was staring the producers of the show in the face with lasso in hand. My Adventures with Wonder Woman is the most logical spin-off. Wonder Woman is the premier female superhero in comic books and fiction as a whole, but her adaptations are few and far between. The well-received 2017 live-action Wonder Woman movie felt as if it took eons to be released, and the amazing Amazonian still lacks an animated series or even several animated DC movies of her own, in the vein of projects that both Superman and Batman have had. Having been around since the golden age of comics in the 1940s, she's had a storied history with an extensive mythology that's just as rich as the ones for both the alien Man of Steel and the gritty Dark Knight. In fact, Wonder Woman perfectly fits alongside them in exploring magic and fantasy, whereas they explore science fiction and street-level noir. Beyond Greco-Roman villains such as Ares, Cecil, Medusa, and original Greek-related foes such as Agorist and the Firstborn. There are also classic enemies like the Cheetah, Dr. Psycho, Galactica, and Silver Swan, among others. With how much some of these characters and concepts have been overlooked in modern adaptations, it's ridiculous that the same is being done again. Wonder Woman's mythos is perfect for an animated series, such as a tentative My Adventures with Wonder Woman, and such a cartoon could work on several levels beyond jumping off the success of My Adventures of Superman. It would use the animated aesthetic of that series in a way that feels natural for Wonder Woman. She's many times been compared to magical girl anime characters such as Sailor Moon, and she even had a planned magical girl style spinoff at one point titled Wonder Woman The Star Riders. On top of that, as Superman has such a cartoon, it's only natural for Wonder Woman to have one since she otherwise has nothing. There's currently no planned Wonder Woman movie in the new DC universe by James Gunn, and even the TV prequel Paradise Lost has little info released for it. Batman competitively has far too many projects, even compared to Superman, so making Wonder Woman the next My Adventure spinoff would have been the next best thing. It also makes more sense than a Jessica Cruz starring Green Lantern spinoff, especially given current events with Diana of the Amazonians. Wonder Woman's video game cancellation leaves a void to be filled. For the last few years, there was a planned Wonder Woman video game intended for modern consoles, though not much was known about the title. The game's scope and playstyle were all up in the air, though many assumed that it would be similar to the Gods of War games, a bit less violent. As the months and years poured up, fewer and fewer statements were made about it, which fans took note of. It didn't help that DC's most recent video game pursuits were less than successful in their own right. Gotham Knights was a poor entry for the Batman Arkham Legacy, and the same was even more the case with the despised Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game. Even with the initially well-received fighting crossover multiverses, which included DC characters such as Wonder Woman, it failed to maintain long-term popularity and is now having its further development shut down. This series of bad news has now coincided with the seeming cancellation of the planned Wonder Woman video game, leaving the amazing Amazonian without a digital home. Given the fact that her game is no longer coming out, there's a death of Wonder Woman content beyond the comic books. This medium is, to be fair, seeing more success than ever, especially with the popularity of DC's new Absolute Universe comics. Still, with Superman, Batman, and Green Lantern all being involved in multiple titles, there's no reason why Wonder Woman, an inaugural icon of the superhero genre, is being left out in the cold. This is the exact reason why My Adventures with Wonder Woman or a similar animated series would work, as she has both history and importance on her side. She's not a pretend property in the form of different characters that both DC and especially Marvel Comics have pushed, without having the required source material development for. This is further compounded by the fact that her rich mythos isn't being mined for adaptations. There's no indication that such a cartoon is completely out of the question, but the same goes for the opposite end of the spectrum. At the very least, another Wonder Woman animated series could be in the works that's unrelated to both the My Adventures universe and the new DC universe. Unfortunately, that means that fans of the Amazonian will have to keep waiting until she's finally given her due. Thank you for watching this video, and peace out till the next one.